Hey, fellow gamers, what's going on? B Chambers from Alloy7.com. Want to give you some quick thoughts on the Defiance beta that we're just finishing up here. I thought I'd put together a quick impression video from my experience with the beta. The verdict right up front, definitely going to be getting this game, no doubt. I've had a great time with it thus far. Just know that there are a few issues, as is to be expected from any beta. And I'll be knocking out a full review once I've played the full release. The first night, last night was really a rough go. I assume it was due to the volume of people that were flooding the servers all at once, but I had problems all over the map that ranged from the horrible frame rate, enemies not dying when their life bar clearly showed that they were dead, controls not responding anywhere near on time. I mean, simple stuff like trying to get off of a vehicle by pressing X could take upwards of 30 seconds for that command to execute. And enemies able to shoot me through 10 feet of concrete. So in short, the first night with Defiance was a straight up mess. When I played a little bit more today and tonight before making this video, it was much better. Aside from continued intermittent issues with the frame rate, all of the issues I spoke about from day one were definitely no longer issues. And I think it's safe to assume that what we'll be buying at launch will be much improved over what we're seeing in the beta. But even with all of its flaws, all of its challenges, I've really enjoyed what I've seen thus far. The world is pretty massive. The quests are intuitive and mostly fun to carry out. And choosing between questing with others or just venturing out solo, at least in these early stages, is very easy and intuitive to carry out. I was also surprised a little bit by how limited the character creation piece was. I don't consider this a flaw or a bad thing. Just be aware that it's there, that up front in the beginning of the game when you create your character, there's not a lot of options. Not quite as limited, say, as like a Fallout New Vegas situation, but pretty limited nonetheless for an MMO. And the graphics for the beta were not really all that great. Neither was the sound wasn't bad, but it didn't really have any like memorable soundtrack feel to it. All of the sound effects were pretty much solid. But I also have come to expect that from the very limited library of MMOs that I've played over the years. Most of the games I've seen just can't keep up visually with the single player dedicated games I've played. Specifically on consoles for the most part. And the sounds, again, aren't really all that inspiring. The worst offender in that regard is the voice acting. Again, this isn't a bad thing, but it's really not all that great either, especially the AI that follows you around. The inflection on some of the ways she says some of the things she does say can get kind of corny and annoying at times, but nothing really overly offensive in terms of that. So to keep things short, let me go ahead and wrap this up by talking about the gunplay a little bit. I was actually very surprised that the gunplay and the controls were as sharp as they were when they were working. Targeting enemies and taking them out is fluid and pretty precise. Even more precise than one of the single player shooters I've played from this year, Far Cry 3. And anyway, I'm looking forward to playing the full release, and I hope to see you guys online. If you want to join up with our team, folks from our website that'll be playing the game, give me a shout here or over at Alloy7.com. The 7th Army will definitely be getting it in come game time. So, as always, good people, it's been a pleasure. Peace, Godspeed, and we'll see you in the game.
Alloy 7.